Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Early this morning, there was a large police presence blocking off part of Minnesota Avenue and 14th Street in Sioux Falls.
In a press release, Sioux Falls police say around 3 a.m. they responded to an incident in the 600 block of South Minnesota Avenue. Police say officers on scene took gunfire from inside a business and ultimately were involved in a shooting with a suspect.
Police Chief John Toom is expected to be at the One Sioux Falls media briefing with more information this morning. You can watch that live on KELOLAND.com starting at 10:30.
Indigenous activist Leonard Peltier has been denied parole after spending most of his life in prison since his conviction in the 1975 killings of 2 FBI agents in South Dakota. The U.S. Parole Commission says that he won't be eligible for another parole hearing until June 2026. His attorney argued that Peltier was wrongly convicted and that the health of the 79-year-old was failing. The FBI and its current and former agents dispute Peltier's claims of innocence. The agents were killed during a standoff on the Pine Ridge Reservation.
A Sioux Falls man and woman will each have to repay thousands of dollars after pleading guilty to embezzlement and theft charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 46-year-old April Ferguson will spend 5 months behind bars and 5 months on house arrest, followed by 2 years of supervised release. She'll also have to pay just over $36,000 in restitution. 41-year-old Stephen Casto was sentenced to 2 years of probation and will have to pay just under $6,000 in restitution. Officials say Ferguson was the chairperson on the Ideal Lakota community and stole money from the community between March 2020 and June 2021. In December 2020, Ferguson and Casto linked a Cash App account to the community's bank account and made purchases not for the community.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem was at Vermilion wastewater treatment facilities yesterday near the Vermilion River, which is taking in sewage after flooding compromised pipes that ran beneath the river.
This was already a facility that was slated for an upgrade and had an ongoing project that would go on, but we need to get it back online as soon as possible so that we can continue treating water to keep the city functioning.
Vermilion Mayor John Cole tells KELOLAND News the city is putting about 1.2 million gallons of sewage into the Vermilion River per day. Now let's get a check on today's weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Warmer today, Scott?
Yeah, we're looking at those temperatures in the 80s for today. Also watching for a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Late today across western South Dakota, we may see some development early this afternoon in south central South Dakota. And we'll see how those move to the east as we go through the late afternoon hours and into this evening. In the meantime, it will be warmer. A lot of us in the 80s for afternoon highs. Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. The diverging diamond at the intersection of I-29 and 41st Street in Sioux Falls is officially complete. Construction lasted about 2.5 years. One driver we talked with says that she's happy to see construction finally come to a close.
This is probably less confusing now than with all the traffic cones that were there and which lights worked and which lights didn't, and you never knew what was going to change on a day-to-day basis as they completed the work.
This was a $44 million project. The state of South Dakota paid 54% and the city of Sioux Falls paid for the other 46%.
Shooting off fireworks has been a long-time tradition for the 4th of July, but may cause some issues. For many humans, it's just a firework, but for your pet, it's a loud noise that they don't recognize. This can scare them and cause panic or anxiety. It is important to be prepared on how to keep your pet safe this 4th of July. The Sioux Falls Area Humane Society has a few pointers.
Best thing to do is make sure they're in a secure location, preferably inside in an inner room where they can't get out, and then try to use some white noise or some other type of radio, TV, etc. to help drown out the noise.
Microchips can help if your pet gets scared and runs off. If they aren't microchipped, you can bring them to the Sioux Falls Area Humane Society and they will do it for $20.
The Sioux Falls Storm kicked off the week by giving back to the community. Storm players, cheerleaders, and staff helped pack meals at the Emmanuel Baptist Church for the Lunch is Served program, which hands out lunches to the working poor of Sioux Falls. Storm defensive back Kendricks Gladney Jr. says it's an opportunity to be a role model.
When it comes to giving back, I once was the kids coming to this church or the people there. I once was that little kid. So to see a professional athlete come in, hey, that's incredible. I always wanted to experience something like that, and I never could.
Lunch is Served expects to hand out nearly 30,000 meals this year. If you'd like to donate or volunteer, we provided a link with information under this story on KELOLAND.com.
And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, weather today, looking at thunderstorm chances in southwest and south central South Dakota. Main risk here is some large hail and damaging winds with those bigger storms during the peak heating of the day. Then the story is going to mainly transition to some locally heavy rainfall. There's kind of a broad zone here from northeast South Dakota, Aberdeen, Watertown, down to Sioux Falls, and then it encompasses much of southern Minnesota. There'll be areas of rain within that zone, and again, we just have to be attentive to the threat of some locally heavy rainfall with this slow-moving system. We'll kick things off here this afternoon. Kind of watch that picture there southwest of Winter. I would say in the Valentine area, that's probably the best probability of locally bigger storms late in the afternoon. Some of that could extend even as far east as Yankton or Mitchell. So we've kind of included a 20% chance of rain for Sioux Falls. And those thunderstorms, again, we'll watch that first batch. The second round out near Spearfish and Belle-Fourche, and there could be additional severe weather attendant to that here this evening. And then some just general rains here overnight. I think Sioux Falls will probably start picking up a better chance of rain after daybreak tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, it's kind of a scenario of these off and on areas of rain. That area of low pressure is going to kind of pinwheel and circle there northeast South Dakota. Couple takeaways. Notice your temperature. It's not warm at all. 65 to 70 in northeast KELOLAND with that rain. And it's slow to move out. It's still around at 4. Some of this area of rain, it kind of hangs around in batches there through 8 o'clock. So that's just the thing to keep in mind as you plan your barbecues and your parades and picnics and, of course, fireworks. You know, by 10 o'clock, we still have to carry a chance of rain in Sioux Falls. West of Sioux Falls, Mitchell, Huron, you go all the way to the Black Hills. There's much better probability that you'll be missing rain there. If you're into western Minnesota, might be a little tougher go of it. So just plan accordingly. Friday, well, we're going to see some afternoon showers bubbling up. And in that scenario, too, a lot of that will kind of fizzle towards sunset. But we're not done. We got another chance of rain. Might come back at us on Saturday. And something new we're continuing to follow here in the Storm Center. Highs today, 86 in Yankton, 85 in Pierre. Your 7-day forecast, 75 to 80 this weekend. So we're below normal. We have a 30% chance of rain scattered at least through Monday. Aberdeen in the northeast, we also see the chance of some rain lingering off and on. A lot of that will tend to percolate during the peak heating of the day, and then a lot of that rain would have a tendency to fall apart during the overnight. So I think that cycle probably lingers at least through Monday. We'll be watching that trend in eastern KELOLAND especially. West River does not look as wet at this time, and we've just elected to keep things dry early next week. And one other note here, when you look at the Black Hills, we start off in the 70s here tomorrow and Friday, but hey, here come the 90s by Tuesday. It could get hot late next week. More details at KELOLAND.com.